countdown ever.
Hello, everybody. We're here. DJ, you suck. I just wanted to make sure. I
didn't do
have
anything.
trouble with buttons, so it takes me a little bit. And thank you very much. Drew holds the gosh dang last finger up for like just as long, while he waits for all of you to shut up too. So y'all need to calm down.
We weren't even talking.
Thanks, Maz, for being so reliable on the gosh dang things. Hi, everybody. This is we are the Paper Dungeon.
Maz.
This is Table Scraps. We play Dungeons and Dragons on Mondays, and then here we talk about it until we run out of things. Then we ad lib for the next hour, because man, do we run out of things fast. Because we're boring people.
I don't think we're boring people. I think we're too easily distractible.
That is also true. If you are interested in learning more about like us as a whole or the campaign and stuff, and you want to check those things, we have socials, including TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, a couple other things along in there. Lydia heads like all of those except for Twitter, which is Grant. So if you don't want to follow the Twitter, I would understand.
There is a remarkable difference between the Twitter and the rest of everything. I'm here for it. I love the Twitter, but it's very
Twitter's great. Basis, the amount of pressure that I feel to just choke slam him through the nearest window is overwhelming. We also have a YouTube where you can check out our every episode of the main campaign and some YouTube shorts and things like that, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Specifically, if you are looking to get into the campaign, we're at like episode 60, 61 this coming week. If you don't want to watch all 60 episodes, and you're like, I want to watch these guys, and I want to watch them live, but that's a lot of time. That's like 240 hours of time. Feel free to start at episode 50. Episode 50 has a bunch of the like recap stuff, gives you a basis as like what exactly is happening, who these characters are, and gets you basically into the story. We have a website as well, www.thepaperdungeon.com, where we will be adding stuff to that as time goes, and we also have a merchandise store with a bunch of stuff that Lydia like made for us. It has like a bunch of Lydia made designs. Everything on there is Lydia's art. Speaking of Lydia's art, she has her own store that you can buy other stuff, and it's really cool. And like you can buy cool books, and they're like, you can buy hardcover notebooks. I can't hold it in my hands. Bam! Hardcover notebooks. They're based off of D&D subclasses and classes and things. It's really cool. You should buy them. We are not sponsored by Arby's, and we would prefer not to mention what exactly the boggle is. Other than that, I don't think I have any other contractual announcements at the start.
We're not sponsored by Arby's.
We are not sponsored by Arby's, but we could be. If Arby's is interested, hit us up at contactthepaperdungeon@gmail.com. Beyond that, I should also say, if you want to support us, first off, the easiest thing you can do, just tell your friends. We love friends, and we love people talking to us. Other than that, I noticed that this was forgotten. We have a Discord, so you should be in it, because it's the only way that you know when this is live. Mm-hmm. Specifically Table Scraps, because we've been pretty consistent with 1:30, but it's not always that way.
Also, speaking of friends, we're not the three of us like actually aren't friends. We don't really like each other, so we really need you guys to bring in your friends because we have no other friends.
Have you seen how I talk to Grant? We're borderline enemies.
The classic trope.
But we also have a Patreon and a Ko-Fi if you would like to support us monetarily. Also, probably the most accessible way is just a sub and a follow. Those are really easy ways to support the follow specifically. And if you're watching this for some reason on YouTube or a podcast, which are things that we have, like, follow, subscribe, and share us. And leave a comment down below. Smash that
like button.
Yeah, just destroy that like button. I'm so sorry.
You know what we should do, Aaron? We should write you like a 3-minute script of all of the announcements that you just repeat perfectly every single time because you're also a robot.
So much charm.
No, it doesn't lose charm. You're still doing what you're doing. It's basically exactly what you're saying. But then we could have a compilation, like a 4-hour podcast of just you doing
Of
an
just
announcement,
me
and it's the
plugging this
exact
stuff.
same thing
Wait, it
over
should
and
be
over and over again.
like every single word is a different episode.
And it could be the same thing. It would be the exact same thing. I'm telling you, we could be.
Oh yeah, remember to hit that bell so that way you'll be notified of when we upload.
But make sure you have notifications
Make
turned
sure
on.
you have because YouTube sometimes turns your stuff off. You know how it is. Anyway, now to the actual, I guess you can call it content, whatever you call this show. Last session, Monday, things occurred.
What
it
things?
was
Tell us
well, it was interesting.
A lot of
I really don't know entirely what happened. It's all kind of a fog. Our
That's
party has been.
how I feel every single time after a session. I'm like, what just happened?
Our party has been going through my character's homeland, I guess. Caged for 13 years. It's a terrible place. We've almost died multiple times, which I have been the direct cause of, not my character. Aaron Klebrad has been the reason that everything has been bad for multiple episodes, and I love it, but I hate it. But yeah, we finally made it actually to the Orcish camp that we were trying to reach, and we didn't die.
Woo!
Woo! Yet. Woo! Met up with the Orcish leaders, played some chess, got depressed. It was great. Lydia dropped some bombs, specifically one bomb, but it was a large bomb. And so that, things occurred, and we're going to talk about them. If you haven't watched it and you don't want spoilers, you might not want to be here because we're going to spoil everything. I'm also going to talk about things from the previous session because we barely got to in the last one because DJ is a monster.
Facts.
DJ is our little chaos boy, or at least he has been since last week. He's a bit better now, though.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me, I guess.
It was, dude, you were wild.
Was I?
You were wild last week. I need
we
to
need to
watch
update the
back that
Nightball.
VOD. And no, it still feels like we're level 6. Anyway, what specific part of last episode do y'all want to talk about first? Do you have, because I was more actively involved in this past episode, so it's harder for me to ask questions because I was mainly the one who did stuff.
Should we answer questions of things from last week that didn't get answered first?
I know that I asked Lydia a question that she never got to answer. For a lot of different reasons, which was like Renaya got her Orcish name from Tarak in the previous episode. Her thoughts on it, her take on it, what she likes, what she didn't like, what are you gonna, everything you think about it.
Okay. Well, I really wasn't prepared to talk about it today.
Yeah, that's right.
Our whole show hinges on improv. You got this.
Well, I loved her name. I really, really, really loved her name. And I'm a little biased because it's my name, but I think it's the coolest of the 3 names.
Go on.
We're listening. I'm not doing anything. Don't look at me. I'm not doing anything.
I'm deliberately trying to be the worst.
No, I think it's my favorite of the 3 names. I think all the names are super, super fitting for the characters. I think I talked about it, how it's really cool how each name lines up with not only the character, but like Tarak's relationship with that character on his like delivery of giving the name. As far as her name specifically, bro, there's so many layers, and it's so cool. And it's so, so cool. And then I had to go back and like re-listen to the whole speech Tarak gives about the name like 3 times through because I just wanted to hear all like the details with it. Because the thing that the one guy wrote, that was bars. That was freaking bars.
The thing that the one guy wrote.
that Orban was like jealous he didn't write.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the actual explanation of what the Red Dawn is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that has some cool things that you may never get to relate to them. And after this campaign, I'll be able to say what they were.
As with most.
Yeah, you know how it is. So there is an interesting part that I'm not sure if it was super caught during this actual last episode, this past Monday, when Track kind of introduced you to the Vark Grim. By the way, DJ, I legitimately think that out of NPCs, that was the best line that you have said in the entirety of the campaign. That is my firm opinion, is when Renai was like, when you meet us, do you want to be able to see us? And you responded with, no, I want to know you as orcs before I know you as people. That was so good.
That guy was epic.
Exactly.
I'm so happy.
Gordon is freaking rad.
Exactly.
Man, the killer.
Literally. And so, but when Track was introducing you all to, I'm going to call him Vark. I might just call him VG. We'll figure out a nickname for him. It'll be great.
Little veggie.
Yeah. Little Garim. But when Track introduced you, he introduced you both as your base name and your relationship to him. So I got to use I've had this written for a long time too. If I could ever find where in God's name my notebook went. Found it!
That's how I feel all the time, except it's not where did my notebook go.
Which of your 7
which notebooks is it in?
Yeah. No, I've had this notebook for like 8 years.
That's true. You have.
It is so difficult to find anything in because it's all just like 8 years of random D&D characters and notes that are not in any particular order or organization.
Fun fact about Aaron, in case you don't know, Aaron doesn't like paper character sheets. He makes his own character sheets on notebook paper, or recently he's been using D&D Beyond for TPD because of...
In reality, I use this super nifty app to store them called Reroll.
This is a new update.
Oh, no. You know about it. I've shown it to you. It allows you to make pixel art of your characters, and it comes with a full character sheet.
Oh yeah, that one's cool.
And it's awesome.
Yes.
And like, you can use it for free, and like, you get endless. Like you not endless. You can make like 5 characters. To get the full version is like $2. And it's literally the best investment I've ever made. $2 once, and you get every update from now until the end of time. It's incredible.
Pretty good.
I'll probably send it in the Discord because I love that app. Yeah, when I introduced all of the people, yes, Lydia is operating on a new background, and I'm pretty sure all of us have mentioned it and been like, that's great. That's a good background.
I'm on the other side of my room now.
You did a whole 180.
But Track introduced Renaya as his oath keeper and very good friend. He introduced Cather as his Malwoon, which means oath brother.
That was cool.
And he introduced Edward as his Vadir. Which I think I've mentioned it on... maybe on stream, never the word Vadir, but the word Vada, which means like beyond teacher, it is like life mentor. The closest thing that like the word father would be for the orcs, because they don't have like parents. They're raised in like pods by priests. And Vadir is the like student version of that. So Track would be Edward's Vada, and Edward would be Track's Vadir. Which is
I'm
great.
gonna get you a mug that says "World's Greatest Vada."
That's so cute.
Yeah, and so I thought it was cool. Also, the Malwoon part, I've had that written. That's on the page of notes. Oh geez, it's like back. It's like back there. But I've had that written probably around episode 20. Is when I first started thinking of like how would Tarak refer to Cather in the future in Orcish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Gotta bring that
cool.
out. And
that
then
was really cool.
the Vadir is a newer thing, probably from like episode 40.
Mm-hmm.
Basically around the time when, well, I don't know when Tarak killed the Dracolich, but it was around then.
40.
It was around 40.
It was
so.
a few
Feels
episodes
like.
before you guys got back, because it was on.
It was on like a even
Was
episode,
that-
wasn't it?
That wasn't in the pyramid, but it was just a couple episodes before you got the pyramid that led to the Day King's Hoard, if I remember correctly.
No. It was on the way to the Dead King's Sword.
Yeah.
Because
Was it
the
in the
piece
pyramid?
of the bone
Oh, it
dealt
was in the
with the
pyramid.
winds.
Yeah. Yeah. So probably like episode 40, 45 maybe.
Yeah,
Around there.
somewhere around there. So finally got to use those things, which is neat.
Probably closer to 45. But anyway.
I don't know, man.
Well, I was just thinking because episode 50 is when you guys show back up at the Revolution, which is basically right after you get out of the pyramid.
Right.
Yeah,
And then you guys spend basically an episode getting back there. So it's
Yeah.
probably like 45 to 50 or so.
something
But-
around there. Yeah.
Around there. Go watch all episodes 40
Yeah.
through 50 and tell us when.
Watch all 240 hours of content to tell us when exactly that happened.
Watch all 10 days.
Yes. But then, so basic plot of the episode, Track tries to convince these orcs, like, hey, I need help. They don't take kindly to it, and that's the first time that I ruined DJ's plan.
Well, here's the thing, Aaron. Here's the thing. You went about that so different to how I didn't have a whole lot of expectations for how you were going to go about it. But this like gentle like ask of being like, hey, can you guys just come like help me out real quick? You know, like I just need a little help, you know? That was not what I was expecting. I was expecting like I can set you free, or I can lead you to freedom, or I in the name of Brumsh, blah blah blah, you know, and nothing like particularly aggressive.
Mhm.
You know, it's not like you were gonna force them or anything like that. But I wasn't expecting little gentle Tarak to show up and look at the Tanar and be like, hey, I just need a little bit of help. Help me out, man. You know? Like that was not what I was expecting.
So the reason behind that is that like one of the reasons that like money is not used by the orcs, like they don't have a currency, is that if you need something to become stronger, it is expected that it will be provided or assisted with. Like if you need the assistance to become stronger, then that is just what you'll need.
Mhm.
And orcs are always, it is always their own choice to whether or not they wish to go into a certain battle. So like if an orc thinks that a raid is a foolish one and that it's just like there would be a better way to go about it, they don't have to go. And that isn't like frowned upon. Now, if they choose to go to the battle and then run from it,
Mhm.
that's a problem. But if you make the choice up front, like, no, I'm not about this,
Mhm.
that's completely okay. So Track didn't want to go in there and be like, here, this is the thing. I am great and powerful and have all this like influence and I can free you. Like Track's not about that. And
Yeah.
honestly, in Track's mind, the thing that is caging them isn't the desert.
Mhm.
It is their own mentality, and Track
Yeah,
can't do
yeah,
anything to
100%.
change that. So I wanted to take a little bit of a kinder route.
Yeah, I loved it. It was really good. It just was not what I was expecting. And then I had to be like, I had to figure out a reason for like Vark Gorham to be upset with you because you didn't really do anything wrong,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So then I was like, okay, well he's gonna need a little influence, a little like distrusting, you know, trying to take his power. Okay, put a little sprinkle of potential coup in there. Okay, and then you just like wrecked him in 2 moves.
That was great. That was
It
so
was
good.
awesome.
Um,
It was pretty Yeah, I
I
wasn't
taught.
expecting you to actually fight him, so that also, yeah.
I mean, I think was it just you that was there for the conversation about this, Lydia? I think it might have been. It might have been
I
like you
think
and Grant.
I think yeah.
But so I don't really do a lot of participating in combat anymore. Like when I first started to play Dungeons and Dragons, I was like taught by min maxers, power gamers. That's how I love to play, and that's what I like to do. Um, but I've tended to find that the characters that I make when I do that make it not very fun for anyone else in the campaign, and therefore also me.
Hmm.
Because it's like, why even go into combat if this character is just going to single-handedly demolish everything in its path?
Hmm.
So I've leaned towards characters that still participate in combat and do very important things and like assist and do stuff, but most of the like glory and victory part of it goes to other characters.
Hmm.
Um, and I love that. It provides a challenge for me because I have to figure out how do I keep these numbskulls alive, and make sure that this combat goes in a way that is like satisfying for everyone, and everyone else also gets like, oh hey, I killed this thing or did this really cool thing. That's like when Renaya takes a kill, I don't consider it taking a kill. It's no, I just set the ball up for you and you slammed it into the dirt, like how it should be.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a reason why the term for that is support.
yeah,
You know.
exactly. The greatest support is to remove your enemies from the field of battle. They can't harm your friends if everyone's dead, right?
That's right.
But this is one of the few times that I've like, especially within the past like 4 years, like really tried to end a combat succinctly, which was successful, somewhat surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So I picked a CR.
9.
I think it was 7.
Oh, 7.
I think it was CR7.
Did you choose the Tanaruk stats?
No, that's only CR5.
Yeah, that which is so frustrating. I wish that orcs were stronger.
I know.
I mean, we can.
I was looking at all the orcs and I was like, these are all like CR2 or 3
Yeah.
creatures. Like, this is not
The
what I
orcs
need.
in standard D&D are so weak it's like laughable.
Yeah. So then it was a demon that I chose. I can't remember which one. But yeah, I just went over to some demon that was like CR7 or 8. And I liked it because it did 3 attacks, and I was gonna increase the damage dealt, because I think each one of them did like 2d6. And I was gonna bump it up to like each attack did either 3d6 or maybe 3d8. I wasn't quite sure. And then I just wanted him to be on similar like level with you HP wise, so I gave him 150 HP. And then you dealt 153 HP in one turn.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah, the spellhold person is really good. Specifically the status condition paralyze is disgusting and brutal. Yeah, so that was neat. And then
yeah, no, that was awesome,
I got to once again ruin your plans a third time.
bro. At that point, I was flying.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do here, and we on the same page with this one. I'm like, I think we're on the same page. You're like, all right, here it comes, and I go, nope.
Well, again,
You're
once
done.
again, because the whole, basically from the moment that you were like, yo, I just want help, everything was improv at that point. Like nothing was going how I expected it, which is fine. So then I'm like, okay, so you beat the Tanar, which in traditional Orcish culture would mean that you then become the Tanar. So that's going to be happening.
I freaking knew you were gonna go for the eye.
Oh yeah, I mean,
when that happened, I was so scared. I was like, no, don't do it, don't do it.
We're gonna pull a Loki in the first Avengers movie with the little spinning blade thing and just.
Ooh, no, gosh.
Ugh. No,
I
that
know, it
wouldn't
was
be
gross.
that kind. It's not that. That would be way too clean.
Yeah, because the rest of your face is gonna think it's clean.
Exactly.
But yeah, no. And then you said no, and I was like, huh. But it brought on some interesting things, and I still get to do what I wanted to do. It's just not who I expected to be doing it, which is fine.
Hey, you might still have that option because Track's gonna gosh dang try to convince Olmadora. It's a good thing that those are the only two orcs that we've talked to because it's the only two names that I remember, and I don't think I could remember the other five. Whatever, or the other
I
four.
got them. They're right.
I have them written down. Like.
Well, it's,
they're there.
It's Umlasha.
Oh, Umlasha, not Olmadora. Close enough.
You gotta just think Warbat with an
Yeah. Oh, there they are. Umlasha.
Also, Maz, that's a great suggestion. I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Absolutely. I mean, God, there's so much stuff that I need to do, and I said that I'm going to do, and I haven't done any of it. And I want to do it, and every single time I'm like, all right, let's sit down. I look over and I see some other project that I've already started on that I should probably work on, and then that one frustrates me so much that I then quit that and then go to a different one, and I never get to the thing that I actually sat down to do.
You know what I should do? I should, just before every single session, I'll be like, Aaron, I need this.
It
Forcibly,
honestly works.
Panic write it.
Regardless of what it is. Just tell me, hey, I need these things, and then just not use them.
Yeah, I'll probably just do that.
Because that would help me get things done for sure. As long as it doesn't involve art, because that takes time.
Art does take time. Art is hard. Speaking of art, Lydia.
Hey.
I'm a little disappointed that there's not art in the chat.
Okay,
yet.
here's the deal. No. Here's the deal.
Oh, you showed me.
I finished it. I finished it yesterday.
And
then I looked at it this morning.
No.
And I hated it.
Don't.
So I'm redoing it.
Can you at least just send me a picture of it so I can see it?
No, because this new one's gonna be better.
Okay,
how much did you change when you say you deleted it? Like, what do you mean?
No, I didn't delete it. I'm just not gonna share it.
Okay, that's fine.
Aaron, as one who saw it, is it amazing?
I mean, I never saw the finished product.
I see.
I saw her making columns and candles.
Facts.
And she was in so much pain.
Thank you.
For hours at a time.
Candlesticks are disgusting.
Fair. Also, you never sent me a text either.
I know. I kept thinking about that, like, right as I'm, like, going to bed. I'm like,
I just need to know the details so that if you reference something, I don't go like, oh yeah, that's something we did, you know?
I know.
I'll be honest. So, Maz just messaged, like, 7 comments in the chat.
Aaron,
I have not picked up a single thing.
Bless you, Aaron. DJ. God, I cannot type. I'm sorry.
I have not tracked a single comment. They have all gone directly over my head.
An
evil character.
Wait, Maz, what's going on?
We have no idea. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna let Maz sit.
Take all the time you need, Maz. It's okay. We're right here.
So after Track does his stuff, we then get several really awesome things, which is just depressed Cather.
Oh my gosh.
That
okay, so here's
good.
Dude, okay, here's the thing.
Into it?
Dude, spoiler alert. Okay, this is where the big spoiler is with Renaya. So that was when I was gonna have Renaya talk about the marriage thing. Because I was gonna have her go over to Cather and be all drunk and like spill it.
And then he was
depressed.
Just so you guys know, Lydia cannot keep a secret. Just so y'all know. Lydia came up with the marriage
the first
4 days ago.
30 episodes.
I can keep a secret. I just get really excited, and if I can share the secret, I will.
I see. All right, fair enough.
You don't need a lot of a gap to input the secret. Like one crack in the seal, and you're like,
yeah, I guess it's close enough. They kind of mentioned something that's kind of related to it. So yeah, I'll tell.
Well, here's the deal: is I knew it was gonna come up. I knew it was gonna come up in the next. In either this episode, next one, whenever Graz'zt was showing up again, I knew it was coming up. And I knew that if it was going to come up with Graz'zt, then none of the other party members were going to know about it. So I was trying to put it in a way so that the other party members would know when
Nah,
it
man.
got
How
talked
good would it have
about.
been if you had told Graz'zt first instead? Well, I mean, you
But
did.
that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, how good is it that you told Graz'zt first? Like, how, just like relational wise, how awesome is it that you're now like telling him things before you're telling your best friends? That's good. That's good stuff. But like, just think about it. Like, you
I
know,
mean, with this, I think it was good that Gratz was the first one
well, probably.
to know
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, he's
But
probably the only one that actually like should be concerned.
yeah.
No, I think the one that should be concerned is Renaya's still potentially current husband. That's the one who should really be scared here.
Bro, dog.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, no,
I'm
that
so
so
sad.
that was a bomb, and so like that whole like kind of end segment of yeah, welcome to the hydration gang, spaff, yeah.
It's a thirst trap.
If you don't know what Spaff is talking about, check out the Twitter and be sad. Because that's the picture I'm wearing my old man socks too. Where they're these super comfy, gross gray socks. That are like really, they look like socks that an old man would wear, and I wear them like athletically. Like I just
Aaron,
wear
you
them
are
because they're
an
good
old
socks.
man.
I am an old person. I'm an
Yes.
old man at the age of like 22.
Wait, before we move on to the end when we're talking about, Grouch or not, can we go back to Cather?
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yes.
Okay.
God, he's sad.
Dude. Also,
Yeah,
is
bro.
it canon that Cather's gods are just lazy?
This is my favorite trend.
Well,
They just don't want to do their job.
well, here's the thing. Okay, so this is something that has been in D&D forever.
Yeah.
Is the gods' unwillingness to get involved in the blood war. It has
Mhm.
always been a thing, to the point where Zariel, the first,
Like fallen angel or whatever.
yeah, she's the first fallen angel, but she's it's not a demon prince, it's a archdevil.
Yes.
The first archdevil of the first layer of the nine hells is a fallen angel who solely just wanted to get the gods involved in the blood war, and they refused. So she went and did it herself, and then she died, killing like a billion demons. And so Asmodeus just like made her into an archdevil and
sounds good.
put her in charge of the war, basically. So yeah, the whole like gods not wanting to get involved is just a constant theme throughout D&D.
I love it.
It's awesome. I love that concept.
Like-
Because very much so. Like, why would? Here's the thing. It makes sense on their part. Like, you have evil people fighting evil people, so the really evil people don't destroy the whole world, which keeps them occupied.
Mhm.
Meaning that the good people don't have to deal with either of them. It works out really well. It's a good system. But yeah, it's pretty great. And also, Cather being super depressed is so fair and so sad.
Oh yeah, it's
Dude.
it's just I love watching people suffer. It's a fun time. I just enjoy it.
I very much was trying to make
Gosh.
it worse by making Ginger remind him of Melora.
Oh yeah.
Well, and I was Drew had stayed on and chatted with me afterwards, and we talked a lot about that scene specifically. And oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. It was something he said. He said, "Keep talking. My brain's got to retract."
So anyway, what I was saying earlier about how it's important that Renaya is telling Graz'zt things before her friends is, as the relationship develops, that person is supposed to become your first and foremost, and then you tell your other friends. They become the number one, and your friends are number two. That's how it's supposed to work, and it's just cool to see that development in D&D, is what I was saying.
Thanks, DJ, for your relationship advice.
Someone said to keep talking, okay?
We lost 5 people. They're like, I didn't come
Crap.
here for relationship advice. I came
What
here to
did
listen to
we-
people talk about Dungeons and Dragons game that I don't watch.
Dungeons and Dragons is relationship advice.
We could talk about
I remember.
Jaeger.
I remember.
What?
Because Renaya ended up saying to him that like you haven't failed because you haven't finished. You're not done yet with it. And
Mhm.
Drew was saying that that was like really, he really liked that Renaya said that, but he was like, gosh dang it, Renaya, Catherine's supposed to be giving you the advice, not the other way around.
That's great. I love that Cather sees himself as very much like, I'm the like moral guide. I'm here to like lead and direct. But it's like, bro, you are at least the same amount of messed up, if not more so than the rest of us.
Oh my gosh, by
Like-
far. I think Cather is the most messed up by far. The amount of stuff and trauma that Cather has gone through and refused to like actually deal with, really.
Yeah,
Like the
I
man
think,
can be going to therapy for the next 40 years and still be talking.
I think that's the
It's a
problem.
good
'Cause
thing
it's
he's
like
an elf.
trauma and
Exactly.
like pain wise, like you can make a lot of comparisons between Cather and like other members of the party, where it's like
Mhm.
in terms of like total amount of death and like terrible like visceral things that they've seen, Cather and Track differ mainly just by like time.
Mhm.
But the difference is that like Track addresses the problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say the difference is the mentality. Like
Yeah,
Tarak addresses the problem, comes to terms with it, and then moves on, and it doesn't really bother him anymore. He like has the lesson, he goes forward with it, but it doesn't really affect him anymore. Cather sees it, thinks that he sucks, dwells on that for 20 years, lets that fester and become a freaking white hand of Urtris in his mind, and then just blames himself for the entirety of it, and never really learns the lesson. He just like wants to hate himself, which is very interesting.
I am absolutely making fun of Drew from here on. I just want to
Making fun
say
of you?
that.
Yeah.
No,
great.
just specifically for Cather's name.
What about Catherine? I
Thanks,
missed
Spaff, for the suggestion. I will never let this die.
Catheter?
Catheter.
Catheter. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
just read.
Look, you can't read, Maz can't spell. We're all in the same boat here. Apparently, Spaff can't hear. We can't speak. We're killing it.
As far as a content creation company, we're doing really well at connecting with our audience.
Absolutely. Yeah, Cather being sad is just it's so good because you don't get to see it.
No, and that's one of
doesn't
the
let
things
it
I was
show.
telling him was I was like, we don't get to see this side of Cather a lot. Like we've seen it a few times, but I think like the party hasn't.
Yeah, I think it's been.
Yes.
I think Melora had seen it a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Renaya's had a few conversations, like maybe like one, maybe two conversations where he opens up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but him like actually like sitting and stewing in it,
Yeah.
like we've never seen that before.
It made me think of the like him with the bow makes me think of the like person at the bar with the wedding ring very much like just fiddling with a ring, like a very classic trope.
Yeah.
But I love tropes.
Dude, they're a trope for a
There's
reason.
a reason why they're used so often. It's because they're great.
Uh-huh.
It's because they're really useful.
Dude, the enemies to lover trope.
Enemies to lover, they've got like dumb barbarian, like I love a good dumb barbarian. A good dumb barbarian it's in the name, it's good. it's just fun to watch. Like spoiled rich brat as Edward is, we love to hate him.
Oh my gosh. Bro, I have been sleeping on Edward for like 20 episodes and I'm so excited for you guys. What? Stop.
Notification.
I don't know why my phone is suddenly
Hey
listening
Siri.
to me. It's not an Apple, shut up. But I'm so excited for once we get done with this arc to just like totally wreck Edward some more. It's gonna be great.
Oh man.
Poor Edward.
I'm so excited.
Everybody's
for
had their
him
turn.
to
I started with Melora and Cather, and then I slowly kind of have been like kind of teasing that torturing Renaya a little bit, but then not really. kind of pull back a little bit. And then it was Havel, now it's Tarak, and then it will be Edward and Renaya. It's gonna be great.
It'll be great.
Probably ending with Renaya.
I so hope that
I
when
oh no.
I hope that when Edward, the like Edward problems start to happen, I hope that one of the things that happens is I just
Ruin
die.
Rennie 2022.
Yes.
I hope
Is
that
that you die?
Tarak's death is a big part
Aaron,
of.
I love how
ruining
much
Rennie.
you want to die.
I want to die. I think it's so cool, and I'm so upset because I'm too good at the game.
Oh my
So
well
we'll be
that
kinda-
was something I wanted to comment on earlier when you guys were talking about it with the you were talking about how you play with like the min-maxing and
Mm-hmm.
how you change it up. Okay, but I think it's so cool that that's the play style with Tarak when those moments come out, because it's such a power move where it's like, this is Tarak, our gentle giant, but he can F you up in
Yeah,
a
but
But
second.
he's still a
Like-
giant.
It's the there's a really good Doctor Who quote that I absolutely love. And it's literally, he's like, it's the Doctor and the enemy of the current episode, and she's like, I'm not afraid of you, Doctor. Good men have too many rules. And he turns around and he goes, good men don't need rules. Now is not the time to find out why I have so many. And it's such a banger line, bro. Like, that is Track in a nutshell. Very much like,
Mhm.
I'm not good. The reason I appear so good is because I limit myself so much, and it's for your benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Dude, what a trope.
That's so epic.
It's
Tarak's so
look,
cool.
You
I
can
love
find
Tarak.
so many banger lines in Doctor Who.
Oh my gosh, Doctor Who is amazing. There's a reason why there's 17 seasons that's gone on for the last 40 years. It's a
Exactly.
great show.
I low key, but also kind of high key, big Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, man. Doctor Who's awesome. I haven't watched it in a while, but it's really good.
Yeah.
So Maz, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take all your character ideas. You're gonna put them on a list. You're gonna name them 1 through however many, and then you're gonna get the closest die that you can, and you're gonna roll it. And whatever the numbered that you roll, whatever character is assigned that number that you roll, you're gonna play that character.
and then the rest will all be NPCs
Yes.
forever. So yeah, I think that was fun with Tarak, and oh man, I'm so excited
now
to just die a horrible sad death and make everyone disappointed in life.
Bro, it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be brutal.
Ow.
Right now, all I'm trying to do is desensitize everyone, so that way we
I
don't
wasn't
lose,
looking.
like-
What did you do?
So I'm not flipping anybody off, but I have this scab on my knuckle, and I just like dragged it across the sharp edge of my desk.
Ow.
Well, that
Yeah.
sounds pretty dumb. Why did you do that?
Well, I was just like putting my hand down, and then it like just like dragged over the corner.
Also, I would like
Silly
to say
goose.
Spaff is correct. I'm too good at the game.
put
I do
that
want
on my
tombstone.
tombstone.
Um, So, yeah. Also, Date with Graz'zt was adorable. I think that
didn't-
developed well.
I didn't think I was gonna get that episode, and I'm really happy.
Well, I was
did.
debating. I was trying to kind of like, I wasn't trying to like rush anyone, but when we got to 3 hours and 45 minutes, and everybody else was kind of like, yeah, I think we're done. I was like, if I end now, people are gonna be upset, especially Lydia.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I'll go do the date and just try to not make it take 45 minutes.
We'll be fine. I don't think anyone would have complained. We have a very, and I'm part of it, a very strict, like, sect of the viewers, myself included, even though I'm a player, that are really in for the soap opera content. That is what I'm here for.
Well, I was gonna say, like, good props to Lydia about getting into it, because that like mushy gushy, like really kind of intimate type of stuff is the hardest role play in my opinion.
it was difficult.
And so like trying to do that, especially with 3 other guys, they're all there like
right.
like
I absolutely
all
love
in.
throwing you two off while you're role playing. Grant and I are the worst people in the world.
You are.
But
It's
my
true.
favorite was because I don't think you were looking, DJ, was when he like caresses her cheek, kind of thing. Aaron just goes. And I was looking at Aaron when that happened, and that's why I started laughing. And I was like, "Dang it!"
Oh, there was an entire period of time where all I did was mime the words that DJ was speaking.
Seriously?
One of the things that I think, so role play tips for the kids at home, if the person that you're role playing with is or not the person like the other person specifically, but if you guys struggle, just try and make it so one person is always staying in character, because that helps draw the other person back in, even if they get distracted.
Also, don't play with people like me and Grant.
Yeah. Also, just
well, I had to go back and get clips, and I got to that part in the episode, and dude,
it's all for the TikTok,
I'm so glad I wasn't looking at Grant, because if I had looked at Grant, I think I would have gotten like so self-conscious and like backed out, because Grant's sitting there like this the whole time.
Oh man.
Yeah, basically, I choose to ignore Grant anytime he's not talking.
Our purpose, so here's the thing, right? So there's a big group of people, as I said, that really like the soap opera content. Grant and I are for the people who don't like the soap opera content during the soap opera content.
Facts.
It gives them something to find entertainment value with. And you, excellent TikToks.
It's true.
Facts.
That's what we're here for. We're just here for the content.
Well, and yeah, because that's been my biggest struggle with a lot of the more serious moments as of lately, like the serious moments and the more intimate moments and those things like that, is I don't know what it's been, but I would get like self-conscious and like hold back. And I think I've talked with Aaron about it, where I'm like, I don't know what, but something's like holding me back with it, so I was really trying not to. And then what's really cool though is DJ, like scenes with you, I have a lot of trust that like you'll pick up if I'm stuttering. Like you've gotten really good at that, so that's also a huge help too. Is I'm like, if I start like flailing, you're like, it's okay, here's a pool noodle, and then
DJ, your NPC support work is very, very good. Like just giving like opportunities and options and like directions to go in conversation is very, very well done.
Thank you. I'll be honest, I'm not actually really sure what all of this means. Like I don't know what I'm doing that's giving that off.
That's why
specifically like I don't have a conscious action where I'm like, it seems like she's struggling, I'm gonna do this thing. I don't have that thought. I do appreciate it.
Exactly. So you as 10 out of 10 DM compared to
No, I refuse to be the 10 out of 10 DM.
Well, it's okay.
I'm trying to usurp Aaron for the 4 out of 10.
DJ, you can be the 10 out of 10 DM, but you have to remember that people can't stand when you let your players get away with stuff like that. Speaking of TikToks,
I just want my friends to have fun, you know.
I had a really fun conversation with Grant where I was watching TikToks while he was attempting to talk to me. I literally have TikTok downloaded for the express purpose of only watching. I'm only subscribed to 3 people. I have the Paper Dungeon, Lydia, and then someone else that is like a music person. I was like, oh, that's cool, and I like this one bit of a song, and I followed him and never did again. So I'll literally just watch through all of the D&D TikToks. And I was doing that, and I brought up to Grant how much I enjoy every single member of the group has their own very specific form of comedy that works much better in different sections of like short form content. So like and Lydia, you've talked about this before when it comes to like making the TikToks, because that's what you do. It's like harder to find clips of me that work good for TikToks, because a lot of my jokes, I'm a very traditional, almost like stand-up comedy type of person. Like I have a lot of build and setup and then a punchline, like, but it takes a lot of time to get to there. But compared to Grant is incredibly new age short form.
Oh my gosh, Grant is literally a walking meme.
Exactly. He's just like, bam, line, and then it's like, ha ha ha, funny. Both of those are very viable and good forms of
Oh
comedy.
my gosh.
So like on TikTok, Grant is almost always a better form of content because he's very short form. You only need a couple of seconds to really get the joke across. But my jokes would make better like YouTube compilations because you can appreciate the whole buildup of the joke and all of the things that it like relates to and stuff like that.
The 20-minute compilation that spans across 30 episodes to get to one punchline.
Exactly. But then you have like Drew. Drew is not a big comedy guy, but when he hits the comedy, it's a joke that you not only see coming, but you're like, I was so hoping someone would make that joke. That's Drew. It's like they aren't super common.
Well, and a lot of like my favorite comedy moments with Drew is just Drew reacting to things.
Exactly.
Like he doesn't even do anything. He's not even laughing. He literally is just sitting there
Probably
disappointed.
because he doesn't actually find it funny. And that's the funniest part about it, is because the rest of us are dying. The best way that I can describe my favorite comedy moments from Lydia is like at any point in time where I could cut out the audio and just put yakety sax. They're like that is it feels very like almost cartoony with like people running through like different doors and like suddenly they're chasing the villain and stuff like that. And it's so interesting to see like everyone's different comedy style. And like things that they really thrive at that is like funny. Because I wouldn't necessarily say that we're like a comedy stream, but like we do thrive on like comedy and funny moments and things that we find entertaining and funny because I think that we're pretty funny people in general. But so that's
pretty
that's just
silly.
We are silly is a good
mode.
term for it. And so just like going through the TikToks, it's really fun to see that like difference in comedy form, just between like every member.
Feel like if I were to be a comedian, I would have to be a ventriloquist, so I can just have like pockets doing things.
See, that's what you like thrive at. Is like yours is a lot of like physical and like physical comedy in that it invokes image. Like it isn't as much as like a setup and punchline, but you just say a thing that the thought of it is funny. Like, oh hey, this person does this thing, or like looks up over a thing, or like wanders, and like it's the image is comedy rather than the actual build up and setup of the joke.
Also, can you talk about how wholesome Lydia is acting right now as she's smiling at her friends? Just saying, you know.
Oh man, I could never be gushing that wholesome in my life.
This is why she gets advantage on things. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oof. Well, you know, I'm straight up jacked, so.
You know
that they hate it.
That made me so happy that you asked.
Give you more advantage. That's all I'm saying. You know.
This is a little off topic. My favorite thing is that there's only been one recorded moment in time where we have been, at any point, anyone in the cast has been given inspiration. And I'm pretty sure it was Grant, and it was a pun. And it was from...
That you gave him.
I know. It was absolutely worth it, and I don't regret it at all.
It was the first time, I think, in my D&D career, I have ever seen inspiration granted, ever.
ATC, that's the thing, though, right? You knew who it was going to because you just said inspiration granted. So you know who it has to go to.
No, I was disappointed.
So I didn't forget it. I just got distracted. There was a question that was asked by Spaff earlier. Hobbies outside of like Dungeons and Dragons, like video games, art, other hobbies, things like that. We're pretty boring people. But well, some of us are more boring than others. Mainly me.
DJ's got a lot of hobbies.
DJ's a very hobby-esque person. You're a hobbyer.
Well, the issue is that I like trying a lot of things. I'm very much like a new experiences type person. And so there's like 2 or 3 that are like actually hobbies. And then there's like 17 other things that I like dabble in like once a year. And I just have this stuff for it. So like climbing and alpinism are probably my biggest hobby slash
I'm sorry.
lifestyle type thing.
Climbing and what?
Alpinism.
Oh, I thought you said alchemism. I'm like, I didn't know that you were like an alchemist. What?
It's on the side.
You're trying to transmute lead into gold? You never
Bro,
told me.
I'm trying to fund the paper dungeon somehow, man. Also, trying to find lead nowadays is so hard.
It's so difficult. Trust me, if anyone would know of your struggles, it's this guy.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I also do a bunch of other like random outdoorsy things like backpacking and hiking and snowshoeing. all
Actively
those different
athletic and beneficial.
I'm
to
very
health
like
things.
granola-esque.
Ugh.
But then obviously I also play Dungeons and Dragons. That's probably my other big hobby. Right now I've been on kind of a Minecraft kick in my spare time. I also like to do woodworking projects. I've been known to paint a mini or two. I like to draw maps. That's a long form one that doesn't happen as often because it's exhausting.
But man, are they good.
I'm gonna go with that. Otherwise, like I'm really trying to get into pottery. I took a pottery class the other day, and that was really fun. But getting a pottery wheel is freaking hard.
Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, pottery is something I'd love to get into more.
I'll save the person who's actually good at their hobbies for last, and I'll go. I unlike DJ don't like doing things. I don't like trying new things. I don't like doing stuff, but I do dabble in some things.
What was it? The thing that you told me you told me this like 6 months ago. Like your ideal life is you get up and you do the exact same thing for 30 years and then you die.
Yeah, my ideal end goal of existence is to wake up to a day that I know exactly how it's going to go because it's the same things that have gone for the past like 20 years. And then I just do that until eventually I die. And that's my ideal life. It's great. It's a beautiful thing. But I play volleyball. I would say that I'm on average above average at the game. Sometimes I'm okay. Sometimes I might even be somewhat good. Most of the time, slightly above average.
Where does okay stand? Is it like average,
okay
above average, okay?
So slightly above average is okay.
I see. Yeah, so it's like average, slightly above average,
yeah, because
okay.
I wouldn't say that
somewhat
average is okay.
Good, excellent.
It's like, because the average of skill when it comes to volleyball players, it's not that high. So like,
yeah, there's a lot more bad volleyball players than there are good volleyball
as
players.
is for literally any hobby or anything that you do. But I can perform pretty all right on the court. It hurts to say that art is a hobby because compared to someone who actually has art as a hobby, it's real bad. I am a bit of a baller myself. We don't speak of the Boggle. The Boggle is the biggest proof that art is not a hobby of mine. That is the biggest evidence against me. But I have recently been trying to get into animation, which is something that I actually do consider kind of a hobby, even though I've only been doing it for like 1 month, because I find it a lot better for me than art is for a lot of different reasons. I also don't have a constant, endless wall to compare myself to.
That is Lydia Corn.
That is the beacon of perfection.
False.
Hey.
What?
Dang it. I opened the Discord and I was already in the fan art channel. And so you know how when you're like looking at the channels, whichever one you're in, it like lights up bold, almost like there's a new post in it. I was like, oh, did Lydia post something secretly while we were doing it? And then no.
That is actually a good question. Did I ever? Oh, I did. The animation stuff that I've been working on, I actually did post a short clip of it in the fan art, which it looks a lot less impressive than I think it. Everyone reacts less ecstatic about it than I do. And I think that's just because I'm like, this is crazy. I don't know anything about technology, so this seems like crazy to me.
I think the reason for that is I think a lot of times people don't understand quite how much goes into it. Like we have so much animation and content and so many YouTube videos that are just like, I'm just some guy who does this on the side, and it's still like super high quality. And so it's like, oh, it's kind of like it's just a thing that happens. You just plug some numbers into a program and something happens. Not quite realizing how much actual effort goes into how
Yeah,
complicated it actually is.
I've got
So that's what.
I've got something that I want to talk about specifically regarding that, and it also involves Grant. But I'll let Lydia go first because it's gonna take a while.
We also never actually talked about the date, just so you're aware.
About the what?
Meet.
The date. Oh, we never did. Oh my
No,
god.
we'll finish what we're doing right now, and then we'll go back, and then we'll talk about your thing with Grant.
What? Okay, what am I doing now?
What's your hobbies?
Tell them about your hobbies, bro.
Okay, I do art. I like makeup. I do makeup. I like.
She's a cosplay nerd.
Yeah, sometimes.
Absolute femboss vibes.
I make TikToks.
I will say it is like really weird seeing someone roleplay a character that you created, or like cosplay a character that you created.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when you cosplayed Graz'zt. I'm not saying I created Graz'zt. That's why the finger quotes. But like, yeah.
But like your version of Graz'zt.
Yeah.
And then.
But my version of your version.
A woman and hotter than the normal Graz'zt. That's not.
Which
cool.
is saying something.
Exactly, right?
That costume gave me a power that I wish I had daily.
I mean, you could wear that costume daily.
I really couldn't.
Just saying, if you don't do the like makeup and stuff, the rest of it is just clothes.
Not too bad. It's just black hair and leather. The whole
That's
vibe.
a vibe. You could do that every day, Lydia. This
really
is a Lydia that I want to see.
When you move to Nebraska, my housewarming gift to you is gonna be a motorcycle.
But like a really small one.
But like, you know how you can get those like small little like toy cars that kids can ride around in?
Absolutely.
It's gonna be like that, but it's gonna be a little motorcycle.
I get a trike. I get a little red trike.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know this is?
I'm sorry. There are so many motorized bicycles in Norfolk right now.
So when I was little,
Norfolk's not that big. It makes sense.
When I was little, I was known in my neighborhood for riding around in a bowler hat tutu on my tricycle in the middle of the road.
What the heck is a bowler hat tutu?
No, a bowler hat and a tutu.
And a tutu. Okay.
I was like, is it
like a tutu that like
the shape
of
a tutu?
Ball, that's like a
no.
Isn't that just like a ball
tutu
strip
and a
or
bowler
something
hat,
like that?
these little sunglasses, and I just ride my trike down the middle of the road.
Streets, Lydia.
Like a boss.
Tina, I need pictures.
Yes.
Yeah,
send the deets.
Yeah.
And the Barbie boots.
I had Barbie boots too.
Wow, that is
the Barbie boots.
That's a little thing that I think that they call in the current fashion trend, power clashing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say go-go boots.
No, but those Barbie boots were made for walking, and that's just what
These boots were made for walking.
They were made for tricycling.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
right. Art and cosplay and makeup
and TikToks and
world domination,
editing and world domination and confusion and
being really cute all the same time.
Not sleeping.
And not sleeping. I'm really good at that one.
I mean, I stayed up until 3:30 in the morning playing Minecraft last night, so I'm not really one to talk, but you shouldn't do that, Lydia. I still got 8 hours of sleep though. I will point that out.
I didn't. I got like 6, and I was really surprised. I woke up before my alarms, and dude, last night was weird. I don't remember any of it, but man, crazy. It's literally just me sleeping was crazy. I woke up and literally, so I sleep on the floor. I don't own a bed. So this is a little interesting Aaron fact. I don't like beds. I don't sleep on beds. I sleep in the most cramped, terrible conditions possible because it's more comfortable for me. I woke up and I like sleep on a blanket with blankets on top of me. And somehow I had moved to a different section of the floor and all of the blankets were in like opposite corners of my room. And I don't know as to how that happened. That has never occurred to me before. Normally I sleep and then I wake up in the exact position that I was.
I was going to say, you literally sleep like you're dead, like you don't move at all.
It looks like I fought God. Like something came for me at night and I defeated it without a scratch.
That's so funny because I'm the exact opposite way. Like there, Tina, did you bring pictures? Please tell me you brought pictures. Did she bring pictures? Yes! Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is strong.
Look at the Barbie boots.
Those are boots. Like, holy cow. Those are a statement.
Yeah, they're full on winter boots.
Yeah, like in the middle of summer?
Yeah.
Oh
I mean, hey,
no. This-
those boots were made for walking. Nice. You know, this is why you're the best.
That is actually very fair.
Keep rocking.
I should blame it on pockets. I've been demons. I'm the Edward in this story.
It's true.
Bring me a pot of tea. Oh,
Pot
Papa!
of tea.
Papa! I wish for my clementines and tea, Father.
Is it clementine and like an orange?
I have
Like,
no
very
idea.
similar to an orange? Very similar to an orange. Anyway, so what we're talking about?
Dates.
Anyway, Spab, we are boring. Don't forget that.
Yeah, we're terrible people. Date. You guys went on a date in fantasy world.
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. I went on a walk with my sister the other day, and we were talking, and then the conversation like
Are
died
you wearing the
down,
boots?
and then I
We're
just,
so getting you a pair of Barbie boots.
oh my gosh. But anyway, so the conversation like dies down a little bit, and we were like, and it's just in this one of those moments where there's not much to say, and I just go, Renaya and Graz'zt are dating. I just blurted out in the middle. Oh, it's exciting. I'm so excited.
What was the best part of it?
All of it.
Okay, well, good part.
Okay, I gotta remember what all happened.
So the door opened,
Door
and
opened.
you were on top of the Argent Palace.
Mm-hmm.
There was a super fuzzy blanket with a
Mhm.
little lore drop.
The
From the
blanket cracked me up.
It was great. Also, definitely wasn't like making Vesh to be like total like bomber, like artisans craftsmen, but they are now, especially for soft things. Vesh blanket. There was a little like crate, like a little bougie crate that had grapes and cheese and wine and flowers. There were flowers on the crate, and then he had a single flower that he gave to
Mhm.
you. It was a little black rose.
Which is it?
Mhm.
Is it in your background, Lydia?
Yeah, it's back there.
Go get it.
That's really far.
Show everybody how small
I
you are. Go
will
get it.
forgive you if you
No.
don't want to stand up.
I don't want to stand up and walk. I'll bring it forward and I'll show it Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
Wait,
have
what-
like a black rose Halloween decoration, and
Oh, cool.
like
Perfect.
because we had like a bouquet of black roses, and then Graz'zt gave her a black rose. I was like, that's canon. So then I just kept it up here.
Nice. But yeah, and then
Oh,
we
for
sat
the
down and we lounged on some poofs, and
Poofs.
then we talked. Graz'zt had a big glass of wine. You had a small glass of wine.
Mhm.
I don't even know if you actually drank the glass of wine. because
No.
You didn't drink it when they were talking, and then we
No.
faded to black. So it was great. But yeah, and then you talked about you getting married. Talked about you
I
finding
think
what you
I
want.
think the
You were
marriage
initiated.
conversation's my favorite part.
The marriage conversation.
Yeah. Just because I loved the way you had him respond to it, was just rewind. Like,
Hey, okay, I'm just gonna come back a little bit. Like I don't want to skip
like
over
not
that.
that
Like
it's
not
not
really
that it's a
big deal.
problem. It's not a
Yeah,
problem.
that,
But
it's honestly
what
kind
was
of hot.
that?
Like but like I feel like we should talk about this.
I'm so
No.
sad.
I love it. Why are you sad?
I found the perfect pair of pink and white Barbie boots for only $11, but they only come in toddler sizes, which is sadly a whole like 2 sizes too small.
No, it's
Can't-
actually not.
What size in like kids shoes can you get them?
I don't know. I haven't actually clicked on the advertisement because it's it's from Zoolily, which is like a baby. Like baby clothes is what they sell.
Baby-
It's like
baby-
what-
Okay, if it's
No,
like
no.
baby clothes, I can. But if it's like children's shoe sizes, I can fit.
I'll look into it. It's on sale right now. Normally it's 20. It's half off.
Nice.
But yeah, so So I think the marriage reveal was my favorite part. I also really liked seeing everybody's reactions because I didn't see anybody's reactions when we were doing it. So there's Aaron who's like,
I was swinging.
and then there's Grant who's literally for like the next minute just going. And then Drew is sunken in his chair, not reacting at all to anything. But yeah, I think that was my favorite part.
I'm so excited to beat up your husband.
I'm terrified.
Here's the thing, is I have things to do. So here's the predicament that I'm in. Okay, if I want to bring him in, I have to do one of either two things. Either I let him be what he should be, which is like CR4, and you guys just knock him out.
Absolutely do it.
Or I make him actually plot relevant, and he's like CR17 because he freaking sold his soul to the devil, which he already did basically. But
so, TJ, I'm gonna blow your mind right now.
Oh my gosh,
you can do both.
I know, it's gonna be great.
You can make him super plot relevant, but just put him just out of reach for like 4 combats. And
that's
so
basically
he just
what I do.
Barely gets away for 4 combats in a row. And then
Oh,
the final one, he's like, "Fine, I'll take you on myself." Just clap him.
He's got like
bro,
30
you
HP.
don't want this smoke.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he ever comes around. I haven't
He's
decided
like,
if that.
How dare you travel with my wife? And we're like, boy, if you don't.
Except he definitely isn't gonna be like that. Like Kai, yeah, it'll be interesting. Anyway, but
I'm
no, I already
excited.
have ways of.
See, I want it
I
to
already know-
happen, but I really don't. But I really do.
See, here's the thing. I already know how I'm gonna like torture you at the end of the campaign, and I don't necessarily know if I want to add
End
more
of the
flavor
campaign. That's brutal, dog.
I know. It's
Just
gonna be
like,
terrible.
hey,
It's gonna be
just-
so good. It's
the very
so
end.
bad.
I mean, Maz is right.
Lydia wants it. Rennie doesn't. But Lydia
So,
wants it.
Maz, you got real close on the first one. I believe the command.
Is it Bork?
It's absolutely
Bork.
It's Bork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the date as well because for a couple of different reasons. First, it was really cool with the role play coming like in and out and like how focused it was. Because I think that was for myself, the most intimate role play scene I've ever done, I think, which was kind of cool. So that was pretty rad. And then Renaya initiating for the first time was pretty great. Graz'zt greatly appreciated that. I love when you were talking about like how you finally are getting like what you want for the first time, or like what you want was very important. That was really good too. Also, I love that. I also very like, as the outsider's perspective, I love the fact that the date was not planned, and then you were like, "I've never been on a date," and I was like,
Write it down, write it
I
down,
wrote
write
it
it
down.
down.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man.
Aaron, what was your favorite part?
Yeah, Aaron, what was your favorite part of the date?
Of the day? Well, you know, I was very actively involved in it. I'm not sure if you guys knew, but I was actually role playing as the third candle. I was the third candle. I was specifically, Lydia, the real reason that I wanted you to keep the one with the messed up base, because that's the one that I was. So, you know, I put a lot of effort into flickering, and I think honestly, out of the candles, I was probably the strongest mood lighter. So that was probably my favorite part. I love the fact that at the end, Lydia initiated contact instead of Graz'zt. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Little less sketch.
Yeah, a little less like, I'm not sure if she's actually that into that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, this was like the first time. This was the first time Renaya actually like really went for it, which was also Lydia. But it was because she's been really hesitant the whole time, and I think
Talking about Renaya or Lydia?
Yes.
Renaya and Lydia
Lydia was like, I'm in.
Lydia's like, Graz'zt, but Oh, I lost the track again.
Lydia has been captaining the Graz'zt ship since Graz'zt was introduced.
Bro, it's so crazy to me how far this has gone. This like random character that I brought in because of a random lore drop is now the freaking.
I just want to be clear here. You could have just said, "All right, well, I've paid my debt. Bye." Just yeeted on
See,
out.
it was too tempting. It was too tempting. You know, it was right
So
there.
You mean, you mean to tell me that Graz'zt got you too?
Well, okay.
Graz'zt is like, I'm not sure if you knew, but I'm thick. And so I know that you were just gonna put me in as like a one-time thing, but like, dog.
But like, dog, you know. Well, it was too tempting. It was
V.
originally the thought process was more to kind of be like a
Villain.
like a how I don't know what the terminology would be, like a kind of like a fling or
One night stand.
Like a temptation, like this could have been like, oh, you had this demon prince
the one that got away,
but then he's gone and disappeared to the wind, and then that never happened.
And he's just still here. He's like, turns out I'm too thick for the wind to move me.
Yeah. So with Renaya actually now starting to engage in it a lot more. You DJ, you made me freak out earlier in the episode when Graz'zt was like in her head and was like, "So are you like mad at me?" Because Lydia was like, "Crap, did I already mess stuff up and I didn't even know I did it?" And
just like a real relationship.
I was trying to be like so aware of Renaya's engagement because I know that I've disappointed Graz'zt in the past, and so Renaya's like, I don't want to disappoint him, and I don't want to give the wrong impressions, things like that. And he's like, so are you like mad at me? I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything.
You want to know why I did that?
Why?
Because I legitimately forgot that you were talking about Kiyomura when you said the 2-day thing. Mm-hmm. I legitimately thought you were like, I should talk to Graz'zt. No, I'm giving him 2 days. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm giving him 2 days. And I was like, wait, why is that? I don't have time to remember. I just gotta go with it.
My favorite thing.
The last episode,
I legitimately forgot about it.
With Kiyomura.
Yeah.
So I love, in my mind, I envision it literally as like, you accidentally sent that message in a group text to Graz'zt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Graz'zt picked it up and he's like, oh shoot, is she talking about me? And it's like one of those really early morning texts where like neither of you is fully aware of what you just sent or read.
It's he couldn't sleep all night because of it. So he went to bed at like 4 in the morning and then he got like 2 hours of sleep and woke up at 6 and was like, oh, I just gotta text her. And like rolled over and texted her. And like 3 words are misspelled and everything. It's like,
have you seen the meme where it's like the man and the woman are laying in bed back to back and she's like, I bet he's thinking about girls, and then it's like the guys and he's like, will they ever come out with a GTA 6? It's just
it was very good.
Yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I'm very happy that we got to do it, and I'm happy that it got to be. I'm really happy with the timing of it too.
Anyway, about that thing that I was going to talk about earlier.
Right, the grant thing.
I get interrupted so often for like such a long time.
You interrupted me first.
I don't know what it's like.
No. I'm not complaining about you guys. This has been an ongoing theme. It's a joke in my family that like about my ability to maintain a topic that I was talking about 20 minutes after I've been interrupted. Like my sister is absolutely the person who's just like, I'll be in the middle of a story and she hasn't been listening. We'll just pop up and say a thing and then go on for 20 minutes about it. Then the moment she's done, I'm like, so anyway. But once again, Grant was at my house and we were talking about like animation and things like that because recently I have ruined Grant and got him into anime. I have put him in a position where he is judged by his family and friends on a daily basis. And I am so happy about it. I'm not happy to hear that delivery robot was hit by a train.
I know, it made me really sad.
Back to that, like, wow, Maz, like,
That's rough.
I'm just gonna put that in our chat, you know?
Way to bring the mood down. But so the plan is with the project that I sent in the Discord in the art channel. That's actually a perfect loop. I had to trim it down to 11 seconds because Discord hates video. But it's actually a 20-second loop. That like shows a sky, and the goal is it's actually a camera moving around a circle, looking at the outside. And I want to animate in the middle a scene. So the problem is it runs at 25 FPS, 25 frames per second, and that means that in order for that 10-second clip to run, or no, 20-second clip to run, I'm operating on like 500 frames of animation. 500 frames is a lot of frames. That's like a lot. That's like a whole bunch. And so I was talking to Grant because Grant makes a lot of music. One of the things that I would love to do, I find animation fascinating, and I'd like to get really good at it. And some of the small things that I like to do are just real quick, like loops of like a scene, and then a specific action happens. Those are really good to put behind like lo-fi music. Like if you think of the like girl studying kind of thing.
Lo-fi girl with just like she's writing with a pencil.
And it's just like it's just a real simple loop of like only one aspect, and maybe like a blinking changes throughout the actual scene. And I can super do that. And he kept like giving suggestions, and it was crazy to see how little he understands about like how many things need to happen in an animation that is 1 second long. Like 1 second is 25 individual drawings. Probably less than that, because if it's a repeated action, you can use the same frames going back. But like, he was like, yeah, you could do this thing and can add another thing, and like maybe it like backs away. And I'm like, out of the things that you said, you can choose one of those and do that, because that like that's even assuming that it's just like one of the, he was like, oh, this song really fits like demonic study or something. It's just Graz'zt reclined in a chair with his reading glasses on, and the entire loop is just he's like, he has a book and then he like turns a page. And I'm like, let's assume that the turning of a page takes 2 seconds. That's 50 frames. That's 50 frames. Now, thankfully, because it's just this, it's only half that number. Because, like, I can use the frames back from the first half. But still, that's 25 frames in that first second. Like, if you want to keep adding in constant movement and things that go on, like, oh, and then he does this, and then he does this, the amount of it takes so long to even draw one panel. Like, once you get the first one done, it's a bit easier because you only need to change specific elements. But like, holy cow, Grant, calm it down. And it's super interesting to see how little, like, how easy people think it is to make a really simple thing happen, when in reality that simple thing takes like hours of time. Which I think is the case for all art.
100%.
Like, pretty much, like, drawings that you do, like, you're at the skill level where, like, if you spend a little bit of time, like, as we witnessed on the art stream, where you were like, all right, I'm gonna draw a baby beholder, and then it was like, yeah, and that it'll also have dimension, color, and shading. Like, there are some things that you can do that, like, don't take a whole lot of time because you are at that skill level. But in order to create the, like, fully fleshed out, like, scenes that you do, those still take, like, days of time. Like, hours and hours and hours of doing stuff. And then if you're you, which you are, you then look at it the next day and then go, oh, God, I hate that. And then change it again. And so that's just a super interesting reminder and thing to look at of, like, how much work goes into a lot of these. Like, I made my life horrible by making the thing want the camera to move. Because now that isn't just, like, if there's two people in the scene, like, oh, I can just, it's a static image and only, like, their legs move or something like that. No. It's every single time the camera moves, per frame, I have to draw not only a different angle, but
Yeah.
like perspective and shading of the character.
Yep. Yep.
And I suck at art. But by the end of it, if by the time I get this animation done in 4 years, I'm going to be pretty dang all right.
DJ, what the heck have you been doing?
Getting yogi, you know that's the answer.
So, Aaron mentioned Graz'zt with his reading glasses on. So I was gonna go
Uh-huh.
grab my like fake glasses and put them on and like pose, but I couldn't find them. So at first I was looking for those. Then I sat back down for 6 seconds, and in that 6 seconds, my key light, which is very precariously
I'm so excited. For
balancing on like a freaking wall,
Uh-huh.
nearly fell over and killed me. I almost died, basically.
this. Bummer.
Cowabummer.
Cowabummer, dude. That's a beautiful. You've seen the cartoon frame, right? Well, it's Batman and Michelangelo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Is like, this is the alley where my parents were killed. We lost DJ. His camera went out. This is the
No,
alley
I
where
turned
my
it. I
parents
turned it
were
off so
killed.
that I'm not messing with it with
Oh,
people
fair.
watching.
And then Michelangelo just goes, "Cowabummer, dude."
Cowabummer, dude.
It's like, oh man, that's such a good, gushing panel of a comic. But yeah, so that's a project that I'm terrified to do. I do really want to animate the Tarak finishing blow though, because I couldn't remember the name of the move that he did to the to Vark Garim. It's an RKO.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and I couldn't remember that exact terminology. But I had literally been thinking, like, let's assume that I fight an orc. How do I want to land the finishing blow, assuming that I win? Because if I don't, we're all dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came up with that, where it's like, take out the knee, plant the hammer, then like vault off the knee into an RKO into the hilt. Well, into the pommel is the technical term. And so I'm glad that I actually got to do that, and I think it would make a really sick animation. That would only last like 5 seconds, maybe less. Yeah.
And then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. So that's whip that out in 20 minutes. Absolutely. But yeah, so that's another project that I hope to do. I also want to draw Catherine Turek, attorneys at law.
I want that really bad.
Like, they just roll up and they're like, excuse me, sir, our client has been illegally detained. And they're like, what is happening? And then Catherine storms in and he's like, I am the law!
Aaron, I want you to be able to animate so bad.
Also, oh my god, Catherine in a Judge Dredd outfit? Oh my god. Why haven't I thought of that before? Judge, jury, and Cathocutioner? Oh man.
You're talking about Judge Dredd, like the character?
Yeah, the character Judge Dredd. Like, if you put Cather in a Judge Dredd outfit, that's so good.
I've never heard of this person before.
You don't know about Judge
right
Dredd?
Here. I am the law. It's right there. It's a quote.
It's so good. It's so Judge Dredd. It's like, oh geez, what's the term? It's like futuristic cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Do you know like who Judge Dredd is?
No.
Okay, so basically they have formulated the government into a very streamlined form. There are these people called judges that are literally judge, jury, and executioner. So they determine the law on the thing. Like that's like what they do. They are meant to be like untainted beacons of law.
Mm-hmm.
And Judge Dredd is the most rad judge in the world.
Yeah.
And he just goes and like wrecks people and like he determines their sentence like on the spot, like with gosh dang volition.
Mhm.
Like he's like,
And then someone questions him and he goes, "I am the law."
exactly.
Yeah.
They're like, who are you to gosh dang do this? He's like, I am the law. And he
This is
had
so
a
funny
movie,
'cause-
and it was a good movie. I will stand by this. I think the Judge Dredd movie was good.
This is actually really funny and really fitting because Shades literally just texted me like 5 minutes ago asking if I wanted to go see the new Batman movie tonight.
Look, Judge Dredd is like if Batman was turned up to 11 and legal.
If Batman wasn't a vigilante.
Yeah, it's like it's very much a that is actually a very fair thing. Like you're like shoplifting. Like you like steal like a cool eraser. And then
And
like
he shows up
you
and
like
cuts off your
walk out the door and this just massive gloved hand lands on your shoulder and you look up and he goes, I am the law. And you're just getting like blasted through the chest. You're like, oh.
It wouldn't even be blasted to the chest. It'd be like Arabian style, like he'd cut off your hand and send you on your way.
So that's the thing, right? Because it's like he knows the exact punishment for each law. So he isn't actually going to kill you for like stealing an eraser. But like he, depending on who you are, he will give maximum penalty and stuff. Like in the movie, he's like loitering as a class 3 crime. Please evacuate the premises. If you're still here by the time I get back, which by the way, by the time he gets back, he will have completely gosh dang adjudicated the entire vicinity of like terrible like just terrible criminals. It's like if you're still here by the time I get back, I will put you in jail. He's like, all right, and he just gets up and goes.
I also think it's so funny how we managed to find a topic where we're still not talking to Lydia again.
Well, I mean, I assume that Lydia is already a Judge Dredd expert.
Come on, Lydia.
Sorry, I'm slacking.
Is there anything else from the session that we need to talk about?
Anything else from the session?
We did a pretty decent job of actually like going through it bit by bit.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for the future, Lydia? Like any things that we're not? I mean, I know that we've touched a little bit on it, but like things that you want to go. Is there any like specific orc groups that you want to talk to? Do you want to do any specific thing, or like what are your plans for the future?
Merry Graz'zt.
I was gonna say Mary Graz'zt.
That's very long term though. Little more short term.
Short term.
Keep making out with Graz'zt.
I need to contact Kiamura, but he's got to wait another day because he's on the 2-day.
I am so excited for the
Silent
fact
treatment.
that you waited 2 days. That makes me so happy.
Makes me scared. Something's gonna happen.
I'm so ready to be possessed.
I honestly don't look forward to taking over Trek's body and be
I'm so sorry. What? I can't
embodiment of a traditional orc.
Am I lagging or is DJ lagging? I think I'm lagging.
DJ's lagging.
Oh, it's
Am I?
DJ. Oh, good. Not me.
Hello?
Hi, DJ.
Hi.
Yeah, you're still there.
I'm still here.
Yeah, you're there. You're good. Back to. Oh, maybe not. You have a couple of lag
Well.
spikes here and there. Honestly, I think that it's a low chance that Track gets possessed. I think that's pretty low.
Yeah, pretty good wisdom score.
Well, it's even better. It's charisma saves. And so,
yeah.
and it's already a 50% chance that it even tries to take me over, right? So it's like, I would have to fail 2 50% chances, which is a very me thing to do.
Yeah.
But you know.
Well, it's gonna be great because it's gonna be like after the campaign, in like 400 years, because you've been living so long with Auroch Faraz, and you're gonna pull it out. You're gonna like the world's gonna be ending, and you need the Spear of Grumps one last time, you know. And so you go to where you buried it or wherever, and you pull it out, and the first time you use it, like Grumps takes over,
Absolutely.
and then he just rampages across the world.
And then caused the apocalypse, and we all thought it was going to be Renaya, and it was me the whole time, 400 years in the future.
I that's kind of how much I'm going to dance on the edge of just my campaign being entirely destroyed. Like I gave it like Renaya at basically any moment has been able to destroy the campaign. I gave you a way of destroying the campaign. I gave Melora a way of destroying the campaign with a deck of many things, or not Melora, freaking, what's her
Edward?
bucket?
Her
Her other character that
yeah.
she played.
Blix.
Blix, yeah.
All I
Thank you.
could think of was Leshka.
You know, Leshka's the other one. Leshka's.
What a
but
party
yeah.
pooper. We could have had a deck of many things right now.
I know, right? That's what I thought.
I'm so
Like,
upset.
There's
I
a
hope that
there's a
Graz'zt-
1 in 20 chance that you just end the entire world.
I hope that Graz'zt
But-
just like destroyed the Scholar's Guide and there's just the packet of cards is laying there. That's what I want.
It's just the one thing left in the rubble.
If Graz'zt was like, oh, a packet of cards, I don't need this, throw to the side. We're like, ooh, a piece of candy.
Bro, I was so excited for there to be a deck. And the best part about it was I didn't even force it to be into play. I just put it out there. I just picked the chart, the like random chart that has it on it, and she legitimately rolled it.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was perfect.
Perfect. Also, so I have plans. So I know that I've mentioned that I want to talk to Omlasha.
Umlasha, yeah.
Yeah. And like talk to her and like not even necessarily befriend her, but end up on a very like neutral understanding with her of like, look, I'm not saying that we should get rid of Orcish tradition, but things change and that is the Orcish way already, so why do we think that we shouldn't now? But the reason for that is because there's a tattoo I want to get. And the tattoos from the orcs are given by the priests of Luthic.
Mhm.
And I could just find some random priest, but it's way cooler if it's her.
It is. And it will be impressive if you can convince her.
I know, and
She
that's what I
hates
want.
But if anybody can do it.
But with my jank, there's a chance. Right, Dad?
Well, it will be interesting because
I'll just
she really hates you.
I'll get
Like, she kind of despises you.
it's simple. Here's what'll happen. I'll get Renai and I'll get Edward to come along with me to give me their hacks.
Yeah.
And then I'll just hit like a 37. Easy.
You know? Here's what you should do. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to calculate what the max score you can get is, and then I'm going to put it one above.
Well, I could just lie to you.
It's true, you could.
I actually already know what the max score is, and it's not that hard to calculate, but
I'm gonna give you, it's a challenge rating, or it's a difficulty rating 60.
that is pretty
Just to
hard
really,
to hit.
Yeah, exactly. If you can hit 60, that I'll leave the game.
All I need is if I have a ×2 modifier, it's actually pretty doable.
Where do you get a ×2 modifier?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, I've never seen that in the
know.
game. But anyway, no, it'll be interesting. Because yeah, I definitely want you to get that tattoo too. It's really rad. But we'll see if it ends up being Umlasha.
Yeah, and it'll hurdle me closer and faster towards death. So I think I think that we both won.
I know. It's a tempting offer, But
Exactly.
We'll see.
Right? You're like, oh man, I can get Aaron out of the picture.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's not that I can get Aaron out of the picture. It's that one of Aaron's character has a beautiful ending to it, and then he gets to play the character that I've been wanting him to play since the beginning of the campaign.
It's perfect. See, in reality, so this is a little trick to all you players out there. Barter with your own life on the line. Right? This is the thing, right? What is the most valuable thing that you can put on the table? It's snacks and your character's death.
It's
bring
snacks.
Bringing the DM snacks is a legitimate way to get
Favor, absolutely.
freaking
That's
clout.
funny.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it. I'll have to make sure that we have the exact details of what exactly I'm looking for, because I'm pretty sure that you remember them and I remember them, but I want to make sure that we remember them the same.
Yeah, no, text me. Text me because I don't remember anything. I
Oh,
think I barely remember the tattoo that because you made a custom tattoo, right? That you want?
yeah. So
Did you text? You might have already texted me the details.
I don't know. It was we talked about it before we went and played volleyball. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did.
So
so text me.
I'm excited for you and Renaya, Lydia, to be just incredibly disappointed in Aaron for getting things that brings me closer to death on a daily basis.
Sorry, I'm responding to Shay.
Ugh, classic. Has a girlfriend. Gross.
Oh.
Well,
Sorry, ladies. DJ's off the table.
My dad. So we're gonna go see Batman with my family, and my dad's like, "We're gonna go see it at 5, which is when Shay gets off, like a normal human being." So I'm like bartering with my dad to be like, "Can we go like at like 5:30 so that she doesn't have to leave work early to go see a probably bad movie?" To be honest.
Hey, it has Cedric Diggory in it and Edward Cullen. That's crazy.
I don't know how they got both of those guys in the Batman.
It's wild,
but
you know.
As the same person too. It's crazy. Man, we could stall for another 15 minutes.
Give me 1 second.
We can do it.
We could. I don't know what I want to talk about more.
Well, here, so we've kind of we haven't reached the end of the wastes, but we've covered the vast majority of the things that we set out to do in the wastes, which is survive getting to the orcs, get there, and then convince them to come back with us.
Now it's just about exploring, you know? Now you just get to run around and see all that's there.
Nope, I'm okay. We can go. But Aaron...
Like, you guys haven't even been to the ocean.
I'm good.
We don't like the ocean. We're good. So Aaron, how have you felt about what we've
it's been great.
encountered?
There's a lot of things in there that I honestly hope that we never see. Not only because I don't want to have to deal with them, but also because I like to keep mystery for it, and I want to be able to eventually release a thing that like the viewers can use, and then they can encounter things that we never got to. Easy answer, Maz. Yes, that's an easy. I don't even know why you asked the question. You already knew the answer.
Yeah, no. Don't call it Atlantis though.
No.
Call it Atlantiles from Webkins.
You could also call it
Atlanta.
Georgia.
Nalta. You could call it Setnalta, which is just Atlantis
Malta.
backwards.
Alucard.
Yes. Oh, who could it be? Yeah, I think that. I think that in general, that it's actually a very easy fantasy trick. Just change the eyes to Y's. Also, we would accept a Webkin sponsor.
Fantasy. Would we?
Yes.
Lydia would force us to. You know,
dude, I had like 40
not.
Webkins.
We could not. Don't.
They were like all a
her
soap
to make
opera.
A Webkins
Oh my
demand,
gosh,
Maz.
Maz, I'm doing it. Thank you.
I will delete you. I have the power. The Arby's command was pushing it. Could you imagine if we just had like 30 commands for corporations that have nothing to do with us?
Ones that we aren't sponsored by.
No, like that have never reached out to us. We will never speak to them. They have no.
Oh my gosh!
Place.
Yes.
It's like exclamation point bombgars, and it just says what you need when you need it.
What you need when you need it at Bombgars.
I would also accept a Bombgar sponsorship.
Bro, Bombgars is what got you your sick shirt for the picture.
Bro, our DeWalt section and our local Bombgars is crazy.
Bro, DeWalt's awesome. Can we also get a DeWalt sponsorship?
But yeah, I had
and
like 40
Bombgars.
Webkins, and
Good
they all had like a
distraction,
soap opera going on, and like there's one was secretly a superhero, and then
I just played Club Penguin. I was an OG at Club Penguin. Oh man, Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I think that the Waste has gone very well. I'm excited to see what we have to deal with on the way out too. Honestly, it would just be really convenient if the dwarves just took our boat and sailed it around the mountains and over the ocean to just pick us up, and then we just go the long way home, so we don't have to walk back. That's a very subtle suggestion to the
nice.
DM.
I'm ignoring you.
I'm aware. I just really want to make sure that it's a possibility that theoretically you could use if you just were really strapped for ideas or something like that.
No, but I really enjoy traveling through the wastes. Like, it's really fun.
I do too.
It's really fun, but I really also want to survive the rest of the campaign.
I really want you guys to fight another crystal toad.
That's hilarious.
And so the beautiful thing is, right, we've got like a whole bunch, so if like we lose like a member, you know, we've got a whole bunch of orcs now. So you could just just like nestle below the sands and we'd never get them back ever again. Oh no. What a bummer. It's crazy.
Oh no, don't do it. No, please.
Oh, my table, it's broken.
Oh, my orc. It's missing.
Broken. Yeah, I'm excited for many things. I like the wastes. I think that they're really cool. I love how anything that I do, like I create, is just universally. There's no like middle ground. It's either, oh my god, this is hilarious and adorable, or Jesus Christ, what hellspawn.
Well, I think you're very good at extremes. Like, you're very good at creating a theme and making that very consistent. So it's like, if the theme is small, tiny, and cute, then you get, you know, the Undergrove. If the theme is everything sucks and wants to kill you, you get, you know, the Scarlet Wastes.
Yeah.
And you're just hanging out at the end of the spectrum, you know.
There is Maz, you got me. I was actually about to bring that up. There are times where I'll just take the two extremes and mush them together. So it isn't a middle ground. You just get both extremes at the same time. Where it's like, it's the same thing as like in like a cartoon or someone where they see like this little adorable fuzzy thing walks up to them and they're like, oh my god, it's so cute. And then it like, and just like fully devours like a full grown cow. And you're like, oh no. Oh no. And yeah, so yeah, basically my DM style is Renaya.
Yeah,
basically. Half the time you're like, oh my god, look at them, they're so oh, what? Oh, no.
That's kind of that's honestly pretty bad.
Oh, she just touched a man and he exploded. Just can't go to death for that one.
Lesser restoration won't fix that.
Oh, you're gonna need a bigger spell than that one, buddy.
That's so funny.
I am very happy that I made you proud, Aaron, with the lesser restoration.
That was sick. I almost I totally forgot to bring that up. I was really hoping that you had some random trick up your sleeve. So thank you for letting this occur, DJ.
It was cool.
Being like you, first off, right? So there's a different thing. I'm not a huge fan of when players just ask for a thing that makes no logical sense as to why it would happen just for the sake of it happening, right? Where it's like, hey, can I use fireball can I just scatter it out to light every candle in the banquet hall? No. It's a fireball. Like, it does one thing. But if there's something in the spell that would say that it might be able to do something like that, specifically using keywords such as blindness.
Blinded. Yeah.
That's rad. I'm totally okay. Any player that is like, hey DM, the spell says this. Can I take it to mean this and use it in that way? My answer is almost always yes.
Yeah, no, you're very lenient in that way.
Like there was a point in time I played in a game. Grant is really good, not with spells, but using his inventory to his advantage is a very Grant thing. Like just completely mundane items. One point in time we were running through Tomb of Horrors, and the gas trap happened, and we were playing like high enough to cast 20th level spells character, or 20th level, 9th level spells. We were 20th level characters, and so he casts time stop, and then like rifles through his inventory, and he says, "Hey DM, I have a thing in my inventory called sealing wax. Can I use that to seal the lids of the trap?" Sealing wax is what you would use to stamp on a letter. But he's not wrong. It is used to seal things. And so he used his like turns in the time stop to like seal the trap away. I love that kind of stuff. And so thank you to DJ for then being like, well, you can do blindness, but he is missing an eye, but the pieces of it are still there. And then because
that's where I was gonna go, and I was like, can I mend his eye?
It's ruled that once something dies, a corpse is not considered a person; it's considered an object.
An object, yeah.
But it's also incredibly kind of like not that isn't always true, because if you look at like resurrection spells, it specifically states a creature, so which would be a corpse, but like it's it's really flimsy on that, which means you can do whatever you want with it. So
yeah, it was cool. Plus, it led to like moments, which was the big thing. Like, I was also very interesting to me because I don't think you and I were on the same page, Aaron, on why Varkagorum was like reluctant to keep living, basically.
Oh,
because I think you were like, from what I got from it was, oh, I'm blind, therefore I can't be a warrior.
No,
which is not what I was going for. Yeah, it was I don't have the honor anymore, or it'd be dishonorable or unacceptable or anything like that. Which I figured you would also know, but some of the comments you made were also about the eye. So either way,
this is another thing. The comments about the eye weren't to like be like, oh no, you're not weak just because you're blind. Like you can still fight if you're blind and stuff like that. That was to be like, you have use to me. Like regardless of your skill or ability, or whether or not you've won or lost, like you without eyes are still worth 10 men, and I need that. And so it's great because we were completely on different wavelengths, but we somehow managed to bring it together into a concentrated point. And I'm glad that you went with me on that. I enjoyed. It's one of my favorite concepts that I've seen in a lot of different forms of media as well. The like, when Trax said, "I will take your life in service," like I own you in essence now.
Yeah.
But not in like an actual I own you, because that's a very unorcish thing to do.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's if you want me to take your life, that's fine, but I will give you a new purpose. Like that is who you are now. In a way, you have died. You are someone else.
Yeah, 100%. Like it totally takes them to be almost to the point where, like, it almost be acceptable for you to give them new names.
Yeah, I'm not going to, because I don't have that authority. I don't want to claim that. Like Tarak is like, look, I'm an orc, but like, there's a lot of things about me that are not orcish.
Yeah.
Like, I am no longer like a true, like, untainted by the outside existence orc. I need someone who is like a legit, has been in it and has never left to like run this stuff. Like, I'm not worthy of that honor. I'm no Tanar. I'm certainly not a Tanaruk. Like, I'm just Tarak.
Yeah.
And so so I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did.
Me too. I am as well.
And we're just gonna have to see if we can turn the tide on this Umlasha person. because we need. I would like to get assistance and see orcs in the battle from all of the different groups, like really badly. And I think that regardless that will happen, because there will be people from other groups that decide, like, oh, I do want to follow these people, even though Umlash doesn't recommend it, or is like against them and stuff like that. Because that's just a pretty orcish thing, or people who are just like, bro, Vorka Rim rocks. Like, 100% I'm following that guy. But it would be cool to present like a united orcish front.
Dude,
like that would be
like
rad.
Children of Yurtrus going in first, destroying everything, and you have berserkers kind of coming in after, and then
distract to the gosh dang juggernaut that just busts through the walls in a straight line.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it would be pretty rad.
That would just be fun to see. But anyway, we have officially stalled. Good job, everybody. So proud of you. For a strong 2 hours on the dot. Is there any other topics that we have not covered that you guys really want to?
Nope.
Because I think I'm good.
I'm good.
Peach is good. Lydia's good. All right. I have to go through my contractually obligated what exactly we do thing again. I did see that there were a couple of new people, so if you were confused as to what exactly this was, we play a main campaign on Mondays, and we talk about it here. That's where all of the Dungeons & Dragons talk has come from. Check it out if you don't want to slog through 60 episodes of content. Start at episode 50. It's a good place to start. Or you can catch a lot of more of our short form content on places like TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as like YouTube has YouTube Shorts that you can do as well. If you want to like talk more with us, talk about the stream with other like-minded viewers, Discord is a really awesome place. We post cool art, and you can see all of the art that Lydia makes there, and we talk about theories and DM tips, and you can ask me questions, and I can be really bad at answering them, like in a timely manner. If you would like to specifically support Lydia, she has her own store. You should go there and do that because her stuff is really cool. You can buy things that are like specifically related to really cool subclasses, and you can buy hardcover notebooks. I can't stress how superior of a notebook it is. Hardcover will always beat soft cover, and it is a hill I will die on. We also have our own store on our website, www.thepaperdungeon.com. We will be posting more things on there eventually. It's pretty scattered right now as to what exactly we want to do with it, but we will figure it out. But we have our own merch store, and that's pretty cool. If you would like to support us in other ways, the easiest way, and perhaps the most beneficial, is just tell your friends about us. Talk about us. Be like, hey, these guys really suck, but they're pretty cool. Show them a TikTok. TikToks are super funny. You can laugh at Grant because Grant's comedy fits very well into TikTok form. Or you can support us monetarily in a number of ways. We have a Ko-Fi. We have a Patreon. And Grant just redid the whole Patreon stuff. We have things on there. It's a lot easier to do. It's a lot more simple and streamlined. Or you could always follow and subscribe here. We are actually about halfway to the necessary number of subscribers on YouTube for that to be monetized. So if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, what are you doing?
Go do it.
You weirdo. Looking at you.
Get him.
You right there. My camera's pointed all weird. Looking at you right there. You know who you are.
Oh, he's
calling you out. You right there.
He's calling you out.
It could be you know who you are. If you have to, have to ask the question, it might be you still.
Maybe.
Possibly. But
Probably.
You know who you are.
It's you.
I think that's everything. You. I think that's all the things that I need to cover. I think. I'm pretty sure. It could be Maz. If you have to ask that question, maybe it isn't, but maybe it is. It has been a blast talking about this stuff. Stop by on Monday. Stop by in our Discord. We'll be doing a whole bunch of super cool stuff for at minimum the next of this year. Lydia's got some cool stuff planned. DJ's got some cool stuff planned. I've got some cool stuff planned. DJ or Grant probably does something. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. We hope to see you again next week, sometime in the afternoon on Table Scraps, and on Monday night at 7 p.m. CST. Other than that, good luck and Godspeed. We will see you all next time, Dungeoneers. It has been
Bye.
a blast.